Category Company, Deep Dive, Target Length, Nisen Lopyak, Sanzen Nihak Words, Juhach, Nishtri Minutes. Serial, you've heard of ASML. The Dutch company that makes the only machines capable of printing circuits smaller than a virus. Their EUBRI scanners cost Sandbrake Hutches $1 million each, require huge shipping containers to deliver, and have become the single most important choke point in the global chip war with China. Governments have lost sleep over ASML. Lawmakers have held hearings about ASML. Journalists have written thousands of words about ASML.
You probably haven't heard of Tokyo Electron. That's worth thinking about, because Tokyo Electron holds a structural monopoly that is in many ways just as absolute as ASML's. And in one specific market, the machines that prepare and develop every single chip wafer before and after ASML fires its laser, Tokyo Electron has a market share of not 1% but 100%.
100%. Zero competition. In the most critical support step in semiconductor manufacturing, every
And yet most people can't name the company. This is the story of how a TB Network side project became the invisible backbone of the global semiconductor industry, and what that tells us about the most important shift in Japanese industrial strategy of the last 50 years.
To understand Tokyo Electron, you need to understand one step in chip manufacturing that usually gets skipped over in favor of the more cinematic ASML story.
Making a chip is at its core a process of printing. You take a wafer of silicon, cover it in a light-sensitive chemical called photoresist, blast a circuit pattern onto it with ultraviolet light, then wash away the exposed areas to reveal the circuit you just drew. You repeat this hundreds of times on each wafer, layer by layer, until you've built a structure with billions of transistors packed into an area the size of your thumbnail.
The ASML scanner is the camera. It does the actual printing. But before the camera fires, someone has to coat the wafer in that photoresist, spinning it on at precisely the right thickness, at precisely the right temperature, with uniformity across Thanbrake millimeters of silicon so perfect that the variation is less than a single atom's width. And after the scanner fires, someone has to develop the wafer, selectively dissolving the exposed photoresist to reveal the circuit pattern underneath, again with atomic-level precision.
That someone is Tokyo Electron. Their CREAN TRCK system, the flagship product line, is the machine that does both. And for EUB lithography, the most advanced chip manufacturing process in existence, the CREAN TRCK is not just preferred, it is mandatory. Tokyo Electron is ASML's certified exclusive coder/developer integration partner for EUB. When a fab buys an ASML EUB scanner for Sambred $1 million, they are implicitly also buying a Tokyo Electron CREAN TRCK. The two machines are physically connected on the factory floor, operating as a single integrated system.
How did Tokyo Electron achieve this? Partly through decades of process development alongside Japanese memory chip makers in the 1980s and 1990s. Partly through engineering discipline that reaches tolerances competitors struggle to match. The Shieri-Tieri Painane's wafer temperature uniformity of plus or minus each degrees Celsius across a wafer the size of a dinner plate. Partly through the compounding advantages of being embedded in every major fab for 30 years, generating data and process knowledge that becomes its own barrier to entry.
But to really understand how this happened, you have to go back to Seinjuvai Loksursandane and to a Japanese television network.
Tokyo Electron was founded on November Shui Senkyuthak Lokshursen with startup capital of 4 million yen, less than 4 mandol in today's money, by two men named Tokuo Kubo and Toshio Kodaka. The funding came from Tokyo Broadcasting System, the TB network, TBS, the company responsible for Japanese soap operas and news broadcasts, backed what would become the country's most important semiconductor equipment maker.
The early business had nothing to do with making equipment. Tokyo Electron was a trading company. Their job was to import American semiconductor components and equipment from companies like Fairchild Semiconductor, which they represented as an exclusive sales agent starting in Senkyuthak Loksu, and sell them to Japan's growing electronics industry. They opened a San Francisco office in Senkyuthak Loksu. They were intermediaries riding the wave of Japan's post-war industrial rebuild.
The pivot happened in the 1980s, and to understand it, you need to understand what was happening to Japan's chip industry at the time.
Between 1978and 1987, Japan did something that Washington considered nothing less than industrial warfare. Its chip makers, Toshiba, NEC, Hitachi, Fujitsu, went from holding 50% of the global semiconductor market to 50%. In DRAM chips specifically, the building blocks of computer memory, Japan went from under 30% to 90% global market share in the same decade. The United States, which had invented the semiconductor industry, watched its DRM share collapse from 90% to 20%.
This wasn't an accident. In Shinjubei Tsushilu, Japan's Ministry of International Trade and Industry (MITI) launched the BUISI project, a government-funded consortium that brought together Fujitsu, Hitachi, Mitsubishi Electric, NEC, and Toshiba in a single collaborative research effort. The goal: build the best chips in the world. MITI bet, correctly, that Japan couldn't do it with competing companies operating in silos. They pooled the nation's best semiconductor engineers and gave them a common mission.
It worked. By the mid-1980s, Japanese DRM was the best in the world, and American chipmakers were furious. In June, Senkyuhachi, after threats of tariffs and anti-dumping actions, the United States and Japan signed the Semiconductor Trade Agreement. Japan agreed to stop selling chips below cost. It agreed to give American firms a 90% share of the Japanese domestic market. The brutal price competition that had let Japanese chip makers crush American rivals was over.
But here's what happened next. Constrained from competing on price in chips, Japan's industrial energy shifted upstream. The engineers who had spent the 1980s building world-class fab processes, who understood the equipment better than anyone on the planet, started thinking about the machines themselves. Tokyo Electron, already embedded as the equipment supplier to every major Japanese fab, was positioned to capture this transition.
By the 1990s, as Korean and Taiwanese chipmakers rose to replace the Japanese, they did so using Japanese equipment. TSMC in Taiwan, Samsung in Korea, they were building fabs filled with machines from Tokyo Electron, Screen Holdings, and a constellation of Japanese suppliers. Japan had lost the chip manufacturing race, but it had quietly won the chip manufacturing equipment race.
Today, Japanese companies collectively account for roughly 30% of global semiconductor fabrication equipment sales. Tokyo Electron sits at the center of that ecosystem, with its dominant positions in coaters, developers, etch, deposition, and advanced packaging. Their revenue has quadrupled in the past decade. Their fiscal year ending March 2023 delivered record net sales of 2040, approximately $60 billion. With net income of 60 billion, their operating margin runs at 90% to 90%, which puts them in the company of the world's most profitable industrial businesses.
The semiconductor industry runs in cycles. Equipment companies buy when chip makers spend, and chip makers spend when they're building new fabs. Tokyo Electron has ridden these cycles for 60 years. But the current AI-driven cycle is different in a way that directly advantages TL's specific capabilities.
Consider the GPU in a high-performance AI server. An NVIDIA H100 contains not just the main chip, it contains high-bandwidth memory, HBM, 4 to 8 stacks of DRAM, each stack composed of 8 to 12 individual memory dies bonded vertically on top of each other through microscopic holes called through-silicon vias, or TSVs. The whole assembly is then mounted on a silicon interposer alongside the GPU chip, with thousands of copper connections per square millimeter. This is called advanced packaging. It is arguably the most complex manufacturing process in human history.
And Tokyo Electron makes the tools for most of the critical steps. Their Synapse wafer bonding system achieves alignment accuracy measured in fractions of a micron, less than 1/10,000th of a millimeter, across stacks of a dozen dies. Their etch tools drill the TS buoy holes. Their atomic layer deposition systems line those holes with conducting films. Between every step, their cleaning tools scrub wafers to a purity that would be considered science fiction 50 years ago.
Every H100 that trained the models that helped write code you may have used, every B20 in the next generation of A infrastructure, all of it was touched by Tokyo Electron machines before it left the factory.
The company is projecting that AI-driven equipment will account for 20% of total sales by fiscal year 2026. They raised capital expenditure by 20% as a record to meet demand for DRM and HBM-related tools. Their own market forecast sees the global semiconductor equipment market growing more than 20% in both calendar 2026 and 2027 to between 4,400 to 5,400 to 5,400 billion per year. Micron, the American memory chip maker, announced a $2,400 billion HBM fabrication facility in Japan specifically to be closer to this supply chain.
Their fiscal C first half guidance projects record level sales, gross profit, and operating income. New equipment sales are expected to grow 60% year over year in that period.
Now consider ASML. ASML has a market cap of approximately $1 billion. Tokyo Electron's market cap is roughly $1 billion, about a quarter. ASML gets the headlines because its EUB story is inherently dramatic, a machine that vaporizes tin droplets 1 times per second to generate light so energetic it can't pass through air. A single machine takes 1 shipping containers and Wuju's engineers to install. Governments have literally confiscated units to prevent them from reaching China.
That story tells itself. Tokyo Electron's story, a machine that spins chemicals onto silicon, requires more explanation. But here's the structural reality. ASML makes roughly GPU machines per year. Tokyo Electron ships thousands of machines across multiple product categories, and in coders developers, the product physically bolted to every ASML UBUI scanner. Tokyo Electron's share is not QBUI%, it is FAC%. Zero competition. The two companies are codependent choke points. One cannot function without the other.
TE-era trades at roughly a 3.5 to 1 discount to SML relative to revenue. That gap has multiple explanations. ASML's zero competition monopoly in EUB scanners is worth a premium. TE competes with Applied Materials and Lam Research in etch and deposition, but it also reflects a fundamental visibility problem. SML is Amsterdam. It shows up at semiconductor conferences in English. It gets written about in the Financial Times. Tokyo Electron is Akasaka. Its investor relations are excellent, but its cultural footprint in Western financial markets is small.
This may be changing. As the AI build-out accelerates global semiconductor equipment demand, as export controls force chip makers to think carefully about which companies control which choke points, and as advanced packaging becomes the next major battleground, Tokyo Electron is becoming harder to overlook.
No discussion of Tokyo Electron in Nussen.
Then the export controls arrived, starting in Reichen-Reichersan and accelerating through Reichen-Reicher for the United States, Japan, and the Netherlands, coordinated restrictions on semiconductor equipment exports to China. Japan implemented controls covering Reichersan equipment categories. TAL's advanced deposition, etch, and coder developer tools for leading-edge nodes. The products that matter most for cutting-edge chip manufacturing fell under restrictions.
China's share of TE revenue is now falling towards 30%, back to what it was before the expansion cycle. The company took a revenue forecast cut. The transition is real.
But TAL's strategic response is to replace that revenue with AI demand. Their calculation HBM capacity expansion by Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron advanced logic build-out by TSMC and Intel, and advanced packaging growth driven by every GPU vendor on the planet. This wave will more than compensate for what they lose in China.
The Q4 fiscal 2026 results suggest they are right. EPS came in 21% above analyst consensus. The stock surged 16.5% in a single session in May 2026. The record-breaking guidance for fiscal 2027 reflects a company that has absorbed the China shock and is accelerating into the AI build-out.
There is a version of Japan's semiconductor story that ends in failure. Japan built the best chips in the world in the 1980s. American trade pressure destroyed that advantage. Korea built better DRAM. Taiwan built better foundries. Japan fell off the map.
That version is incomplete. Japan lost the chip manufacturing race. What it retained through Tokyo Electron, through Screen Holdings, through Advantest, through Shinetsu Chemical's 3% global share of silicon wafers, through JSR's photoresist dominance, was the equipment and materials ecosystem that every chip maker on the planet depends on.
This is not an accident of history. It reflects something specific about how Japanese industrial companies survive adversity. When the ground shifts, they don't abandon the field. They find the layer of the value chain where their precision manufacturing culture is most difficult to replicate, and they dig in. The tolerance requirements that make a tier coder developer impossible to reproduce in a competitor's lab, Shrasrati Rasish across 300 millimeters of silicon, are the same cultural obsession with process perfection that built Fanuc's robotics dominance, Shimano's bicycle components grip, and Murata's ceramic capacitor monopoly.
Japan didn't win the AI race by building AI chips. It won the AI race by building the machines that make the chips. Tokyo Electron, with a 5% share in EUB Kota's developers, is the clearest example of that strategy working exactly as intended.
The machine no one talks about, the monopoly no one notices, the company that touches every AA chip that gets made, that's Tokyo Electron. And now you know. Sources referenced naturally throughout script. See sources.md for full bibliography.